Nah, nah, I'm not about to spit no bars, but I am about to break some bars. I'm about to break some bars, so I'm gonna need y'all to brace for impact.
Yo, 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 what's up, good people? It's your girl, Mia. Jesus is showing out, so the doctor is in. Hello, 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 and welcome to Private Practice with your host, Dr. Mia. Let's get it.
Yo, what's up, good people? It's your girl Mia. Jesus is showing out, so the doctor is in. Hello, hello, hello. So, welcome to the private practice with Dr. Mia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you watching this live, where you watching this live, and how you watching this live. Well, it's not live; it's actually pre-recorded. But for my people on TikTok, nah, I'm not about to spit no bars, but I am about to break some bars. I'm about to break some bars, so I'm gonna need y'all to brace for impact because we about to break some bars because it's Exhortation Thursday, okay? But with encouragement, first we must start with why you're gonna need it, right? Why you're gonna need encouragement. So, how many of us are willing to admit that our past and our perceptions of it may be flawed? Um, and we call it a defense mechanism. We call it, trying to be optimistic, or it could very well be a victim mindset. We call it a lot of things, but the truth of it is it's deception. Our past is what it was, right? So here recently, a situation took place where I had to come to grips with my past, right? And I think a lot of us need to do that, right? So, like, we had upbringings that maybe we didn't agree with per se. Um, so we flipped it, we chopped it, we screwed it, we lied to ourselves about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I went through that. That happened, but it made me stronger. I grew up without my dad, but I didn't really need him. And again, in all actuality, if you still here, that's true. However, we have to come to the realization of how our trauma, or I like to call training, has is has and is, but does not have to continue to shape and form our character, right? So, um, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Some of us had, especially us women, we had bad relationships with our moms, right? Me and my mom used to fight a lot. We used to argue a lot. Now I tell myself that I enjoy debating. Is that true? Not necessarily. Am I good at it? Yes, because I've been doing it all my life. I've been arguing and defending and explaining myself all my life. So I just told myself that I like to do it. And I really don't. I don't. It's just I've been conditioned to do that. Now, can I use that? Am I good at explaining things? Yes. But do I like to have to explain myself? I don't. So that's another stronghold. It's like, did you really want to have to defend yourself or explain yourself all the time when the true reality is what you really need to tell yourself is that your parent never understood you. And it's unfortunate because it's your parent. You know what I'm saying? Um, Not having my dad around growing up. And then by the time he did finally get in my life, I kind of realized why God separated me from him. Doesn't mean he was a bad person, it just means he wasn't the dad for me, and God stepped in and did that. However, the burden of that, you gotta accept it and acknowledge it to let it go, right? Oh, for us who did have our dads in our lives and maybe they weren't the best. How do you accept it and let it go, right? So you have to accept some of the actions and character traits that you picked up because of these unfortunate casualties of life. You know what I'm saying? And also show yourself grace in some areas because you didn't choose the people you came through. God did. And for whatever reason, it gave you the strength that you needed to make it to this point. However, it does not take away what was done, right? So how do you uncover what was done and repurpose it for righteousness? Like, how do you go through that process of, okay, my mom didn't understand me, my dad didn't understand me, or it wasn't in my life, or my mom didn't understand me, it wasn't in my life? How do you uncover those things and really stick to the facts? Because a lot of the things that I learned, like, I made excuses for my mom a lot, like, because I did some research and I found out, and then again I found out from other people, things I didn't know about my mom, but again, they could have been lying. So that just gave me more of an excuse to say, well, she did what she did with me because she didn't know any better. So here's the thing though. If you yourself have grown under the same circumstances as your parents and you're doing better than them, then that means they too had the ability to do better and they chose not to. It's that word, chose. And that's how you break free. You have to acknowledge the choices that were made that affected you. Also show them grace because they made that choice, right? They made that choice and it hurt you, but it doesn't have to destroy you, right? What's the saying? You know, you choose if you continue to let what hurt you haunt you. And I'm going to add to that by saying you choose whether you continue to let what hurt you shape you. It doesn't have to shape you. And you don't have to lie to yourself about what happened. It happened, but you're here, right? We're here. It happened, but we're here. It made us stronger in ways we might not have necessarily liked, of course. The things that happened to us may have made us stronger in ways that we may not have necessarily liked, right? But we don't have to hold on to the way. Hold on to the strength. Hold on to the lesson. Let it renew you, right? Because once, speaking from the heart, once them people are gone, if you don't let go, you're going to hold on to them the wrong way when they gone. And some people you should just let go all together when they gone. You know what I'm saying? Because then when they're gone, you don't have the reminder of who they are to keep you from lying to yourself about who they were. You'll start to forget. And you want to forget, but you want to forget the right way. And then more importantly, you want to forgive them before they go. Right? You want to forgive them before they go. Because if you don't forgive them before they go, again, what hurt you will haunt you. Because you did not get to have the conversations that needed to happen. Because to be honest, a lot of people continue to hurt people because nobody told them that they were hurting people before they left. Like a lot of times I get people say, cut them off, whatever, whatever. I get all that. But sometimes, like when your kids cut up or when somebody cut up, you tell them, right, so they can fix their behavior. Well, guess what? The same thing applies to if parents were abusive. Maybe they didn't view it as abuse. Maybe that's how they grew up being disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Getting their head rocked on in an inappropriate manner. So they subconsciously lied to themselves and told them this is how discipline is supposed to go. And because we never told them that's not working for me. At what point are you going to realize that the way you're disciplining me is not stopping me from doing it? All it's doing is causing me to hide it from you. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, but again, out of fear, we back at that fear thing. Like, out of fear, we don't have conversations with people that need to be had, not for them, but for us. Like, I'm not looking for you to apologize. I'm not looking for you to, because again, everybody's experience on earth is their first attempt in learning, which is an acronym for fail. FAIL, first attempt in learning. It's their first attempt. So you get grace immediately in that. But we have to take accountability if we didn't tell them, hey, that's not working for me. Because I got 2 kids, I got 2 boys. You know what I'm saying? And one discipline for one, and it's not the same. Like, I had to discipline one way, I had to discipline the other one another way. So when you don't communicate, but they communicated with me, yeah, that don't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Can you, ask me, make me think about my behavior, and then I can shift it. But again, I didn't learn that till after my mom was gone. So I couldn't tell her, because her words to me when I sat down and had my closure conversation with her was, I didn't know how to be a mother to you. And I didn't have an answer for her because I didn't know how to tell her to be a mother for me at that time. And I was in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? But we got to have that conversation. Now, what I do find that was unfortunate is that I didn't understand that statement until she was gone. Like when she said it, I believed her, but I didn't understand what that meant until yesterday. And yet my mom's been gone for 6 years. So that just opened up a whole nother can of worms. Because my mother only knew how to be the mother that she saw, which was her mother. And I can tell you right now, me and my grandma she wasn't a fan of me, okay? And because she wasn't a fan of me, I couldn't be a fan of her. I tried. I explained myself like I told y'all I like to do, but nothing worked. She just was not a fan. And to this day, I don't know why, but guess what? I got to let it go. I got to let it go. Maybe it could have been like I hear a lot of the coaches and things say, the enemy sees things in you from birth and they use whoever they can seek to whom he can devour. Maybe he was just trying to get at me early and he was using my grandmother to do it. And then that poured down into my mama. But the buck stops here. And that's what the encouragement is. The buck stops here. We are not the people who shaped and formed us physically. We're not them. We may have came through them, but we're not them. They made their choices. We are now making ours. We have to let go of them. We have to let go of what they did. We have to let go of who they were. We have to just fully let go. And what I had to learn was those people who brought us up, that's your cocoon, honey. So when you came out of your mom's womb, you immediately enter the cocoon of your family. Now we reshaping it, right? We reshaping it. Because when a caterpillar goes into a cocoon, baby, it comes out a totally different creature. So I'm pretty sure some things broke. When a kid is in your womb, they come out they go in a cell, a little sperm cell, and then they come out a human. Well, guess what? You go into your family a child, you come out an adult. Now that process, right? A lot of things, and I know we probably don't want to hear it, but it's true. God knows what you're built for. But because you don't know until you get to it, we misperceive everything that's growing us to it. Now, yes, I was abused growing up, right? Does that mean the abusers are innocent? Are they going to get away with it? No. Does that mean we focus on the vengeance that's going to be exacted on them because of what they did to us? No. Success is the best revenge. If you never make it to what God got for you, they won. And that's the thing. Holding on to the training that God provided you through these people, because guess what? Everything that you've been through, somebody else went through it, and now if they've overcome it and they're walking in their purpose and they're, whatever the enemy put in their way to try to keep them from getting to God, got disarmed, and now you walking it with him, you won. It wasn't for nothing. You didn't get through that for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe again, I was raped growing up, but now I can talk to somebody and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Voluntarily and involuntarily, because sometimes we give up our bodies because we feel like we're in a situation where we ain't got no choice but to do it. Here's the thing. You got your control back though, right? Now you know how to discern who's for you and who's not, right? In order to become a healed physician, that means you had to be sick first. A lot of time, what the Lord say, endure unto the end. You know what I'm saying? Many are the afflictions of the righteous. We read these things, but nobody told us what they look like. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. Now, the enemy tries to cloud your judgment of what those afflictions look like by the people God uses to put them on you. Job. Name me one person that is a success or a legend that did not get betrayed, beat up, knocked down by everybody they came through before they reached the top. It's because when God trains you up for success, he has to humble you first. Because who you change for becomes your God. I said that on a video. Who you change for becomes your God. So when you come out of that dark place, when you come out of the shadows of those dark people that he trains you up through, when you come out of there, if it's him that pulls you out, if it's him that you praying to, whoever helps you get out of that place, because God used people too. Just like the enemy used people, God does too. Because, baby, I just had to text my husband and tell him he's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because right when I was going to go the wrong way, he put that man on my doorstep. And for 20 plus years almost, because I've been with him since 2002, sorry. For 20 plus years almost, I have been rejecting my new bottle because of what the Lord say. When you get in him, you become a new creature, and you can't put new wine in an old bottle. My family took a lot from me. Everything they took, God sent me a man that put it all back. And some. But sometimes we can't see the blessing because we still stuck in the lessons. And then we make the new people that come into our lives suffer for what old people did. We don't see them. We don't see the new person. We see them. We see the people from the cocoon instead of the people that's helping us walk into our butterfly season. And it's not fair to them and it's not fair to us. You know what I'm saying? If you're a new creature, then that means everything that was before you went into the cocoon is no more. You are now new. You are now opening yourself up to new experiences, new life choices, new you. You don't have to hold on to that mindset that you have, that survivor mindset. You can liberate yourself from that. How do you liberate yourself? Well, first start with cleaning your house. Because this is your house right here, baby. This is your house, your heart, your feelings, your discernment, everything up in here. We got to clean that first. You know what I'm saying? Clean that up. So you can start seeing, because love does not always feel comfortable, but it should not hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be comfortable, but it should not hurt. And it should definitely be freeing. It should be liberating. Love should liberate you. So the first step is love thy neighbor as thyself, right? If you knew that you had been abusive to someone, right? Abusive, maybe you wasn't the best to them. Maybe you didn't do them right because you didn't know no better. But either way, you still made the choice to not learn, whatever the case may be. Would you want them to, would you want what you did to them to continue to hurt them? Even though you're not a part of their life no more, give yourself that same grace. You got to give it to you first. If you allowing now search situations and circumstances to bother you, and you know if it was the other way around, you would ask for forgiveness and want them to let you go, then you gotta do it first. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Them people are gone. And if you was gone, you'd want them to let go. If they needed to forget you, to get over, you'd want them to do it. Give yourself that same grace. Love thy neighbor as thyself hit different when you got to put yourself in the shoes of your oppressor, the person that hurt you, whoever. If you knew you did that to somebody, you'd want them to let you go. If you knew how you feel on the inside whenever the things happened, if you knew you was making somebody feel the way you felt, you'd want them to let you go. Do the same. Do it. Do it. Because I'm telling you right now, whatever God got for you is on the other side of that. Because that's when Jesus was here, he had two laws. Love God above all and love thy neighbor as thyself. He came and died for you. So that's reason enough to love him above all. But then he told you to love thy neighbor as thyself. How are you loving yourself if you punishing yourself for something that was done to you that you would not do to someone else? And that's how we gonna let go, people. That's the encouragement for today. Every person that you're holding on to, whether they're here or not, every situation that you're holding on to, whether you still in it or not, everything that's going on in your life right now, anything that's going on in your life right now that's not serving you, let it go. Because it has you bound. And it's blocking your vision of you and where you are. That's what's in the way of you seeing joy in all things. You can't see joy in all things because you're still living in pain. You're still living in abandonment. You're still living in things that no longer are true. Fear, and I love Express Words on YouTube. Y'all should check him out. He said, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Right? So I encourage y'all to process through the evidence that you have that shapes and forms your character and see which ones are real and which ones are not. Were you abused, or did somebody really just inflict their pain on you because they were in pain. So all they knew, again, hurt people is definitely real. Hurt people hurting people is definitely real. Does that give them the okay to do it? No, but you don't have to become you don't have to become the hurt person that hurts people, because now you're continuing a generational curse. You see how that goes? So first you got to figure out if a lot of the ways that you think and move and get through this life, is it you or is it who you came up under? Not through, because you came through too, but the people who you were brought up with, make sure your character is not looking close to this. Because like, oh, I'm my mama's child, I'm just like my mama. Should you be? Because we all, I don't care how perfect your family was. Everybody, ain't nobody perfect but Jesus or God, right? So some of the characteristics that we pick up, we need to see what type of fruit it produces. You get what I'm saying? Everything that looks right ain't righteous. So we got some but I'm encouraging y'all. We got some soul searching to do. We got some unpacking to do. Me, spiritually and literally, we got some unpacking to do. But it's so worth it. So you can really and truly start loving your neighbor as yourself. Even if your neighbor didn't love you right, don't let their love rub off on you. Let me say that again. Even if your neighbor don't love you right, don't let their love rub off on you. Learn the way God loves you through the way you love, that exchange, build that relationship with him, but build one with you, because you got to love your neighbor as yourself. Which means if you're allowing people, things, and situations to treat you or do you in a way that you wouldn't do to them, then don't, because that's not you loving yourself. And that's not you loving them either. And you need to speak on it. You need to tell them what they're doing is wrong, because if it's bothering you, it's probably going to bother someone else. So even if you don't tell them, you're still allowing them to continue in the behavior. So that's the grace. The mercy that you're showing them and yourself is, I'm not going to continue to let you or me keep offending God, because this is offending me and it's probably offending him. And then the grace is telling them what they're doing wrong, so that they can choose whether or not they're going to fix the behavior. And again, you telling them that for the both of y'all. Not just you telling them that because, one, you want them to stop doing it to you. And for them, because if they've been doing it and nobody's been saying nothing, but they keep losing people, they can't keep friends, can't keep a romantic relationship, can't keep a job, can't keep this. Somebody needs to tell them so that they can fix the behavior. Even if they don't continue on with you, the goal is for you to help you and them. It's a twofold. It's always a twofold. But if we continue to not love thy neighbor as thyself, because like again, if it was you, you want somebody to tell you. Love thy neighbor as thyself. But we got to love ourselves first and figure out what we like, what we don't like, what we willing to accept, what we not willing to accept, what hurt us, stop it from haunting us, let them go. Acknowledge that you love them, but maybe you didn't like them, and that's okay. We're required to love everybody. Like is optional. I can love you as a child of God, but I don't have to like your behavior. And don't force it. If this is who I am. Okay, well, maybe your absence has to be the lesson. Just saying. So, y'all, homework, really examine yourselves. Make sure you ain't holding on to no dead baggage. Make sure your perception of that baggage is valid before you bury it. And move on. Okay? And if y'all didn't get that, I'm going to run it back. Examine yourself. Make sure the characteristics that you picked up aren't those same characteristics of the people who haunted you and hurt you. And if they are, change your perspective of what hurt you and the people who did it. Then let it all go. Because you here. And tomorrow needs to be a better day. Today needs to be a better day. The next minute needs to be better. Okay? So with that, I pray that y'all have a great day. Also, my speaker writer page will be up soon. Yes, Jesus came through, y'all. He came through and he was like, Coach, no. I coach through my books. I coach through my podcast. I don't want to charge for coaching. Ain't finna start. So if y'all want to help build my ministry, share my lives, share my socials, get your people to subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, because this podcast will be available on YouTube, Spotify. And again, I go on TikTok live, but if you don't catch the live on TikTok, you're gonna have to go head over to the I put snippets on TikTok though. I do put snippets of my live on TikTok, and Instagram and Facebook. But if you want the full length, you're gonna have to go to YouTube to get that, or Spotify. But yeah, y'all want to support the ministry, do that. I do have memberships to like access to my blogs, access to the retreats. We will be, again, if I get enough people to sign up, we will be having a retreat. It's probably gonna be here in Houston. A 3-day retreat in November. Is going to be the weekend before Thanksgiving. If I can get enough subscribers, I will have the exact number of how many subscribers I need next week. And then we'll have the retreat in November. Because we definitely having one next May. I want to have 2 a year, but it really depends on the activity and the people who, join the vibe. Also, we will be having fellowship calls on Friday nights. I'm really on the fence about it. I might have the fellowship calls during the week. I'm gonna do a poll on the day, and it's gonna be twice a month. So I'm gonna do a poll. Be on the lookout for the poll. I'm gonna do a poll to see which days are best to do the sisterhood fellowship calls, so we can build this ministry, because we need retreats, y'all. We need getaways. We need to have our spiritual, empowerment and encouragement. We need the physical. We need to have a good time. We need to be around like-minded people, all the things. So I'm going to be updating y'all with a lot of stuff. Jesus said no with the one-on-one coaching. But if you need a session, you can inbox me. And I'll give you my business line and we can chop it up. But as far as me charging for that, I don't want to. So, but y'all can purchase my books. That's another way you can support the ministry. All proceeds are going to the Overcoming Me to Become Her retreats and the Overcoming Me to Get Closer to Him retreats. That's the two parts. First, we got to overcome us to become her, and then we got to overcome her to get closer to him. Those are the vibes. Those are the two retreats of the year. So some of the proceeds from joining the membership will get you, access to those, and then the other half of the proceeds are going to the production academy that I'm trying to open up. I'm trying to open up a production school for homeschooling families and interns, college interns who are looking to get into the production industry. That's my dream, y'all. And I must needs execute it. So yeah, anybody who joins the Doctora Collective will get discounted tickets on the retreats, because I am going to charge full price because it's a nonprofit. The sisterhood is going to be a nonprofit organization. So everything that I make, I'm putting into there so that we can have homeschooling support for moms, spiritual, social, emotional support for moms, spiritual support for women. All of those things for us women, we need that stuff, y'all. We need it, okay? Need it. And sisterhood and fellowship, true sisterhood and fellowship, okay? So I got a lot of things going on. The website is up, but it ain't done. Okay, I'm still working on it because he keeps stopping and going me. Stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. So I'm trying to catch up. So, but yeah, speaker and writer is what I asked for. Speaker and writer is what he said yes to. So, speaker and writer is what I will be. However, I also asked him to so I could be a big sister in Christ, and that's what my nonprofit is. It's for me to be a big sister in Christ. Okay, and that's what I want to do. You know, because everybody need at least one big sis that's walking with the Lord. Okay, so that accountability partner. So those are the things that I'm working on. But he said I had to get rid of my old bottle first before I could step into the new bottle. And this was a part of that. So I thank y'all for being a part of that purging with me. I really and truly do. And if you need assistance with yours, if you need some help examining yourself, getting some questions in prayer for the Lord so you can, or some questions for yourself, because I do know how to, I do have a process for asking questions that can lead you to the root cause of the behavior, the feelings, whatever. And then when it comes, I encourage you to be alone. I encourage you to be, because baby, it happened to me one time in public and I broke down in tears at work. So I do have some strategies for that. There are strategies in my books. All of my books are available on Amazon. You can click the link on my profile. The website is there in partial fulfillment. All of my social media tags are in the link on my profile. In addition to my books, the Power of Air series is launched. If you did not get the Body Worker series, I'm sorry to tell y'all it's no longer available. Jesus said no. Jesus said no. But the Power of Air series is still available on Amazon. Don't know how long that's going to be available, so you might want to grab a book, because Jesus be like, once I pass a phase, that series of book is gone, and then the new series takes over. And I am starting a new series called Breaking Through and Breaking Free. I'm going to keep y'all with me during that whole process, probably mostly on TikTok Live, not so much YouTube, because my writing sessions be like 3 hours long, and we're going to vibe out. So y'all get to hear my writing playlist. I might share some snippets with you guys while I'm writing the book. So my TikTok people, y'all will get like firsthand accounts of the new series, Breaking Through and Breaking Free. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the order. He's still working on it with me, but I definitely know it's going to be Breaking Through and Breaking Free. In any event, be great. I think that's it, y'all. I don't think I got nothing else. I think I'm pretty much done. So y'all be great. Be you, and in everything you do, stay true to you. And you already know what time it is. Let the Lord provide the increase. Have a good one.
Grace and peace, physicians. If you enjoyed the vibe, click subscribe. Peace.